Hey guys, it is Raining Blood is back with a video that you've been waiting for, and that is my top 10 movies of 2014. Last year was a fantastic year for movies that had many great films, as well as a few disappointments. Just so you know everyone, these are my personal favorite movies from 2014. You may disagree with some of these choices, which is totally fine. All opinions are welcome. First, I would like to give honorable mentions to the following movies in alphabetical order: 22 Jump Street, Begin Again, Birdman, Boyhood, Chef, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, Fury, Get On Up, The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies, John Wick, and Need for Speed. I thought all of these were great films, but none of them are good enough to make my top 10. By the way, I have not yet seen Nightcrawler or Whiplash, so please don't get too upset because these films will obviously not make my top 10 for that reason. Here's what you've been waiting for: my top 10 movies of 2014. And at number 10, we have The Lego Movie. I actually didn't see this film until a couple of days ago. I don't know why I waited so long to see it, but I loved it, and it was good enough to make my top 10. The casting was perfect, and just a really fun movie throughout its runtime. And yes, guys, I did catch that Middle Zealand reference, which I consider a pretty cool little shout out to my country of New Zealand. Number 9, Edge of Tomorrow. Honestly, I didn't care for this movie at all when I heard about it, and when I saw the trailers, I changed my mind a little, and I finally saw the film, and I thought it was fantastic. The suspense is always there, you always want to know what happens next, and I just thought it was an incredibly entertaining film throughout, and one of my favorites of the year. Number 8, Captain America: The Winter Soldier. This was a superhero film that took me by surprise. Just an endlessly entertaining action flick that never gets boring throughout. However, I don't think it's a perfect movie like some people make it out to be, but I still love the movie. Number 7, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm sure many of you will disagree with this choice, but this film gave me exactly what I wanted: a fun popcorn flick to sit through at the movies, and the reboot of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles gave me exactly that. But to be honest, it seems like people hate any movie with Michael Bay attached to it. Talk about prejudice. Seriously, just because it was directed by Michael Bay doesn't make it a bad movie. You can hate on me all you'd like, because I hereby declare this as Michael Bay's best film to date. If you're looking for a fun popcorn flick, I would recommend 2014's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Number 6, Gong Go. This is David Fincher's latest film, based off of the book of the same name. Memorable and endlessly surprising, you can never really accurately guess where this film is going to go. There are many times where you think you know what's going on, but the plot twists just keep getting to you. A brilliant movie. However, this movie doesn't get a higher spot because I wasn't a fan of the ending at all. I mean, all of this crazy stuff has happened, and it ends like that. They supposedly changed the ending from the book. So, if any of you had read the book, please let me know how it ends in the comments section below, because I don't want to bother reading a stupid book. Number 5, Guardians of the Galaxy. The Marvel Cinematic Universe does it once again, taking an unpopular superhero comic book series and turning it into an awesome movie. This was a film that I certainly didn't expect to make my best films of the year list, let alone at number 5. This film had pretty much everything you could have wanted and more. It had breathtaking visuals, great action, a good sense of humor, an awesome soundtrack, and one of the best ending fight scenes in any superhero film that I believe Marvel has ever done. I would agree with it being the best Marvel Cinematic Universe film of the year. However, I disagree with it being the best Marvel film of the year, which we will get to later on. Number 4, The Interview. This was a finished film that we almost didn't get to see due to terrorist threats, and it was such a relief when we got the chance to see it, both online and at the theaters. This film is extremely controversial, and if you have seen it, you would understand why. Honestly, I wasn't a big fan of either Pineapple Express or This Is the End, but I thought this movie was well worth the hype because there wasn't a single second of this film where I wasn't laughing or just having a really fun time. You might think I'm giving this film more praise than it really deserves, but it's my opinion. I love The Interview. Number 3, X-Men Days of Future Past. As I mentioned earlier, I said that I didn't think Guardians of the Galaxy was the best Marvel film of the year because I thought another film was more deserving of that title. And that is this movie, X-Men Days of Future Past. Honestly, I thought this film was a little underrated. People always talk about the Marvel Cinematic Universe when they don't give enough praise to the other Marvel franchise that is X-Men. This film is amazing. I would agree with this being by far the best X-Men film to date. It was fun, suspenseful, and never failed to be incredibly entertaining. Seriously, I'm so damn sick of seeing it so low on people's best films of the year list. Last year, I saw the reboot of Godzilla, which turned out to be a seemingly purposefully huge disappointment because the studios know that the film's idiotic fanboys will do anything and everything to defend it. But enough about that. I saw X-Men Days of Future Past the day after, and going in, I was worried it was going to do the same thing that Godzilla did, but it ended up being far from that. X-Men Days of Future Past whooped Godzilla's ass and turned out to be a masterpiece. I love this movie so much, I can't believe it's only number 3 on my list. In my opinion, the best superhero film of the year by far. Number 2, Snowpiercer. Okay, for a few months, I was hearing about this film from one of my best friends on YouTube, Midnight Movie Madness. Check him out, by the way, great guy. Honestly, I wasn't very interested in this film. It only has a 7 out of 10 rating on IMDb, and people hardly talk about it. But after watching this movie, I learned that I should never, ever not watch a movie just because the critics did not like it. If I had one word to describe Snowpiercer, it would be mind-blowing. This film was just shock after shock after shock until the very end. There was so much shock that halfway into watching this movie for the first time, I thought I wouldn't be able to handle the remainder of the film. Seriously, I thought I was about to have a bloody heart attack. I would very highly recommend this movie to anyone with eyes, ears, and a brain. And my favorite movie of 2014 is Interstellar. I mean, come on. Did you really expect my number 1 pick to be anything other than Christopher Nolan's latest masterpiece? Was Interstellar everything I expected it to be? No. Was Interstellar everything that I wanted it to be? Perhaps not. Did Interstellar have amazing special effects? Yes. Did Interstellar have incredible acting? Yes. Was the story of Interstellar way better than I expected it to be? Yes. 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 For over 2 years, I have just been aching for this film to come out, and when it finally released to the public, I begged my mother to take me to the cinema to see it, and it did not disappoint in the slightest. This film was almost 3 hours long, and it felt much shorter than that. Interstellar is nothing short of a mind-blowing, visually amazing masterpiece. Not only do I think it's the best film of 2014, but it's one of the best films I've ever seen, period. So that was my top 10 movies of 2014 video. Hope you enjoyed this, everyone. Please let me know what your top 10, top 5, or just tell me what your favorite movie of 2014 was in the comments. I'd love to know. Please like this video also, and I will see you later.